So in this video we're going to take a look at how we're going to connect to DeepSeek with C#, and in this case we want to set up a Blazor web app where we can make this small UI where we're going to be able to write to DeepSeek and send a message and then display the response. And I do have to mention, it is not an API to the online DeepSeek. It is a DeepSeek that is installed locally on your own PC. So the absolute first thing you want to do is to actually go and install DeepSeek locally on your own computer. So you have to go to GPT for all and then go and download it for Windows. It is a very simple installation. You just have to click next and next. And when the installation is done, you will come to this page. It is just the front page of the desktop app called GPT for all. You can also go and just chat with it directly in here. But what we're interested in this video is how we can connect to GPT for all and go and get responses directly from DeepSeek into our own project. So the first thing you want to do is go to find models here, and then you want to scroll a bit down, and then you will take the DeepSeek version and install it. If you have a good enough computer, you can also go with the next DeepSeek installation here. But when that is installed, you want to go first of all, you want to go to chats and go and see if you can see your model in here, if it is installed. So you should see this DeepSeek R1, and if you can see it, then it is downloaded and installed. So the next thing we will do is go to settings, and we have to scroll all the way down here and enable this one. It's called Enable Local API Server. So basically what it does is just that we, as it describes, we are going to enable an API server on our computer so that we are able to go and send HTTP requests directly to this local server that it will create. And you will really just need to go and enable this, then it is done. There's no save button or anything. You just have to tap it on. And then we do also need to know the port here. So just go and put it as it is. If you already used this port to something, then go and change it, but you have to go and restart it then. I will just go and use this default port. And then there is really nothing else we have to do inside GPT for all. So let's just go and create a new Blazor app. So just go and create a new project, and we will create a Blazor web app and say next. It really doesn't matter what we call it. And we can say next on this page. And finally, we want to go and use the framework .NET 8, or at least that is what I'm using. You can go and use whatever you want. I just don't know if it's compatible. But since it's only HTTP requests, you should be able to go and use another version of .NET. And then we can go and say create. So once the project is created, we can just go to the components over here and open the pages, because we're going to use the home page. So we can really just go and delete all this, and then let's go and create a headline. Just call it DeepSeek AI Chat here. We then want to go and create a input HTML tag, which we will then bind to a variable that we will call input value. So this is just what the user is going to type in to actually send to the AI. And just to have some placeholder text, you can say write to DeepSeek. We then want to go and create a button where we just say that the value inside should be sent. So this is just our send button. And when we click it, we do want to run this function called start request. And then we will just go and create a text here. I just make a paragraph with some strong font, which will just say response. So underneath this, there should be the actual response we get from the AI. We will then make another paragraph, which is the response. So we just make a new variable called response text. And we will of course go and make all these variables and functions in the code section that we will create soon. And an important thing here is to go and mark up this string, because DeepSeek, when it responds with some HTML actually. So this is just a way to say that the string we have here is HTML, and just go and use it as HTML. So now let's just go and make our code section. The first thing we will do is go and make a private string, which is the response text. So it is just the response that the AI is going to give us. And by default, we can say click the button to get a response. This is when we haven't sent anything yet. We can then go and create another private string with an input value where the name is input value. This is what the user is going to send to the AI. So in first case, it will just be empty. And then we do want to go and create our method here, or the function that we're going to run. So we can just say it's a private function. It will be run async, and it will be a task. And the name is start request. It really doesn't matter what you call it, but it is just to remind us what it do. So the first variable we want to create in our function here is the API URL. You could of course also go and put it out here. It really doesn't matter, but it is just the API URL to our local server. So you want to go and use localhost, and then the port that you used. And then this is the syntax to go and chat with the AI. And just to quickly show you, inside the docs here, on the page that we downloaded, GPT for all, you can go to the documentation here. And then down here at the API server, you can scroll a bit down, and then you can see all the different ways that we can go and contact the server. So for now, it is this one that we're going to use. It will be a post method request, and it will just generate chat completions. So as you can see, you can also go and request the models. So you do maybe get a list of the models that is available. So the models that you have actually installed. So you could go and make a UI where you first list the models and say which one do you want to connect to. But back in the code here, we can go and make the response text to loading, and we do that when we start the request. So when we don't have any result yet, we start to say loading, and then you could of course also go and say you sent, and then say what did we send to the AI. But it is very optional. You can just go and say loading. So remove this and just close it up again. So the next part here is a big chunk of code, but I will just explain it so it makes sense. It is pretty much as it says, the request data that we send to the AI. So we wrap that in an object where we say that we want to specify the model, which should be DeepSeek R1 Distal Quen 7B. And it is pretty much the name that you see when you click up here. And then you have to type this in. If you have other AIs, you do want to go and make spaces. So it is the way that it stays right here. Then you might want to go and make this max tokens and put it to 2048. If you don't do that, I actually think it will just give a very short answer. And it's actually an answer that will not be wholly completed. So you might want to set this up. And finally, you can go and create messages in here. So you can go and create a message to the system. So you want to go and make a new object in here with a role. And the role, you can go and say directly to the system that you are an AI. It's also in here, you could go and say you are a character, act like this. So you don't really see this on the UI where the user is going to enter something. And finally, you will also go and create this object with the actual user. So it's very important, this one, because it is what we actually send and want response to. So as you can see, this is the input value that we're going to send. So the actual text that we sent up in the input field. We can then go and fetch the response here. So we make a variable called response. Then we do want to await the HTTP call where we use post as JSON async, and it wants two parameters. It wants the API URL, so where do we want to send this request to, and then we want to send the actual request data, which was this chunk of code. But as you can see, the HTTP have a red underline, so we have to go and inject this. And a way you can do that is by going to your program.cs file and then go inside the builder. Inside our services, you want to add a scope, which is just the HTTP client, so that we can actually go and inject it to our code section inside the Razor file. So back in our file here, we can scroll a bit up, and just over the code here, you can go and inject the HTTP client. And in this case, we just called it HTTP. So that was actually this one. We do then go and take the response and make this ensure success status code. And it's basically just a method that we can run from the HTTP client to make sure that it succeeded. You could go and also make a try catch around all this, so that if there is any errors, you could go and see the actual error. Then we will go and take the response here and take the content inside and read it as a string, and we do that async, so we also have to await it. Then we will get the string as a response body here. We do then want to go and parse the response body that we get so that we can go and get some JSON. And for that, I want to go and use the J object here, which actually come from the Newtonsoft package. So we have to go and install that. So over in our Solution Explorer, let's go and right click the project and say manage NuGet packages. We then want to go and browse and then browse for this Newtonsoft.Json. So just go and install that package. So when that is installed, you can just go and close the NuGet manager here. We then want to go and use the Newtonsoft up at the top of our page. And it is the Newtonsoft.Json.link that we want to go and use. So now when we have that, you can see we have the J object here from the link inside the Newtonsoft.Json. So the final thing we can do is go and take our parsed JSON, and then inside the choices and the 0 here, we do have another array called message. And then we have some content in here, and we do want to go and make that to a string. So this is just basically the structure of the JSON that we get in return. And then this is the way that you're going to actually get the answer and convert it to a string. So that we basically just have the answer here as a string. And then finally we can go and take our response text and put it equal to the answer. You could also just go and take this and put it directly up here. But that should actually be it. We can go and test this, and I have to say that sometimes it actually doesn't really work, and it's not because the code don't work, it is because my computer don't have the strength to actually go and make some quick answers from DeepSeek. And when you go and send something twice, I do think that it might go and lock up or actually just crash or something inside the actual AI. But if we handle it with care, it should work. So let's go and try and test this. So this is our page. Let's try to ask it something. So I will say, what AI are you? And hopefully it will go and say it is DeepSeek R1. And one thing you have to make sure of before you go and send is that you actually have the GPT for all app open. I don't really think you have to go and load them here, but you do have to just have the application open. And there is a way, if you don't want it down in your taskbar here, you can really go to settings, and when you are at the bottom here, you can go and enable this one. So what it means is that when you close the application, it will still be running inside, the applications down here. So you can see when I close the application now, down here, it will be right there. So instead of having it at the taskbar and fill up here, you can really just have it in here, just like a service that is just running on your PC. You can then of course go and right click it and say restore, and it is just to open it again. But yeah, you have to have it open before it can respond. So let's try to send this, and I will take time on how long it will take. So I'll just hit send. And actually now you can see it is loading, you send, and then it will say what did we send. So now we actually get the response, and it took like 20 seconds on my PC. So of course, if you have a very powerful PC or you have a very powerful server that you could run this on, you could go and get some quick responses. But as you can see now, I am DeepSeek, an AI assistant created exclusively by the Chinese company DeepSeek. So a last thing I want to show you is that it's not really only DeepSeek you can go and get answer from. When we are inside GPT for all, you could see I also have another AI. I think it's called Llama. I think I called it Llama in a video I created once. But since it is a llama that they actually have as like the animal to promote this, I just think it's called Llama 3. So this is an AI chat that Meta created. So if I just go and put this inside my code instead, then inside our code, let's just go and stop the application for a moment. And the only thing we actually want to change is this one. So the way you want to insert it here is just with actual spaces, so not the dashes that we created on the DeepSeek AI model. But let's go and save this and let's try it out. And this Llama 3 should be a little bit faster. So even though we write DeepSeek here, it is now the Llama 3 that we're going to send a request to. So just for fun, let's go and say who is Messi. and let's say send. And in this case, it actually took around, I think, 15 or 18 seconds. So in this case, it was not that much faster than the DeepSeek AI. But yeah, this is a way that you can go and use to connect to DeepSeek's AI or another AI locally on your own machine. So you really don't even have to have internet to go and do this. And the code is actually not so complicated. It is not some libraries that can only be used like in Blazor or anything. It is just the very basic HTTP client that we're going to use and the Newtonsoft.Json package. So you could really go and use it in a ASP.NET Core application or just a simple console. You should also be able to go and use this in like Unity if you want to, because it is just C#. But I hope you could use this, and else just go and have a nice day. Bye.